here to tell you a little bit about myself and to tell you about an object that has special meaning to me. My grandfather, who was an important part of my life, had this in his home. It was in my grandparents' home. It was very, very, very special. It reminded us of him all the time. What I'm referring to is the three locomotives in this picture. They're an artist's rendering of each type of locomotive. The reason why they're so special to me is they remind me of my grandfather. He was a railroad engineer for about 40 years with Conrail. He actually drove the trains. He got to, push the levers and honk the horn and all that good stuff. My grandfather was almost like an oxymoron type of person. He was a very short person. He was only about 5'2", maybe 5'3", but his voice and listening to him, you would think he was bigger than I was. But the great thing about him was he was a great person. He never held anything against us. When we screwed up as kids, he never really held it against us. We had consequences for it. We always did. But he never held it against us. He always praised us. He always told us how good we did, how well we were. But when we did something wrong, he let us know that we were wrong. And, he just let us know. That's a big part of who I've become today. I've learned to try not to let other people's mistakes take over what I think about that person. Story I can tell you is when I was about 12 years old, I was arrested for shoplifting in my hometown. Actually in my town of Springfield that I was living in. My parents, as a way to get me away from things, sent me to my grandparents' house. I thought my grandfather was going to be very upset with me. One of his big things was being honest, not stealing. He let me know that he was upset with me. He let me know he was disappointed he was disappointed in what I did, but he never held it against me. I had chores to do, I had consequences when I was there, but he never held it against me. He was just a great man. I learned a lot from him. When he got older, when he was in his 60s and even in his 70s, he took phonics lessons because he didn't read too well. And he wanted to learn to read better because he wanted to be able to read to his grandkids and his great-grandkids. He was a very hard-working man, and these are the things that I've learned from him. I've learned to do what I can to provide, do what I can, and when I do my work, I do it to the best of my ability. But he also taught me to not hold it against other people when they make mistakes. It doesn't mean they're a bad person, it just means they've made a mistake, and you need to forgive them for it. Hopefully, in hearing this, you guys can learn that, and I've tried to learn myself, to let mistakes go, to not hold it against that person. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't succeed. I try my best, but I don't think my grandfather would hold it against me. So hopefully you can take it away from here, knowing that life is too short to hold things against people. Just let people be. If they make a mistake, they make a mistake. It doesn't mean they're a bad person.